Imagine waking up every day gripped by cravings that hijack your thoughts, relationships, and future. Now imagine there's a pill that could fix this all, quiet those cravings, restore balance, and even give you a better shot at a future. Wouldn't you want to live in a world where you can take that pill? Today, I'm here to persuade you that medication-assisted treatment should be more accessible for people who need to be treated for addiction, and this can create a better path to their recovery. First, we're going to take a look at the problem, then we're going to investigate the cause, and finally, I'm going to provide you with a unique solution. So let's jump into the problem. The main issue with medication-assisted treatment is the stigma created. There's a stigma for both clinicians and for addicts. For clinicians, according to NPR on March 6, 2023, they had to go through a burdensome training in order to be able to prescribe addicts with prescriptions for their addiction. Now, the main prescription that was proving to be the most helpful was for a medication called buprenorphine. Because of the gruesome training that they had to endure, clinicians were more aware of the dangers of providing treatment to addicts. On October 14th, 2022, BBC released an article that focused more on users' experience. It talked mainly about an ex-addict named Dougie who had gone through buprenorphine treatment and had become clean. But, as we had mentioned before, there was a stigma for people with addictions. And because of this stigma, a lot of his friends who were addicts were scared to start medication-assisted treatment. First, we looked at the problem. Then, we investigated the cause. Now, let's investigate the cause. On April 24th, 2024, the San Diego Union Tribune released an article that had talked about a similar thing to what I have previously mentioned. The required training that I had said was quite challenging for clinicians was no longer required and had been lifted. But few clinicians were deciding to start prescribing buprenorphine to addicts. Now, this addresses the clinician side, but let's talk about the side of people who have addictions again. Yale News released an article on December 19th, 2023 that mainly talked about the fact that non-medication treatments were more harmful and on occasion just as harmful as no treatment at all. Now, this addresses what we had said before, Dougie's friends not wanting to take the medication-assisted treatment. Because if they're seeing harm being done when people are trying to recover, even if it's not through medication, they are probably assuming that that harm will be done if they begin medication-assisted treatment. First, we looked at the problem, then we looked at the cause. Now let's investigate some solutions. One of the main solutions would be investing in public education and provider training. Now, if you put more money into provider training, then more people will be able to prescribe medications such as buprenorphine to addicts, and all in all, this will just make it more available. As we had talked about, that was one of our goals. Investing in public education will make it so that more people will know about buprenorphine or other medication-assisted treatment medications, and it will provide jobs for more people who can provide it. On September 4th, 2020, the OC Register released an article that noted that California invested millions into hospitals, and this offered medication and resources to people who needed it. This medication and resources did include buprenorphine. Now, as I mentioned, investing money into provider training, which was at these hospitals, made it so that again, medication was more accessible to people with addictions. And like the OC Register said, this was put into place in California hospitals. Today, I looked at problems that were around medication-assisted treatment, I investigated the cause, and I provided a unique solution for the issue. Now, hopefully next time medication-assisted treatment comes up, rather than somebody dismissing this, you could help them change their view, and so that they will advocate for more accessible medication-assisted treatment, and just so that it's more accessible for everyone. Thank you.